record. We're recording. Okay, we're starting the video now. I do screen share, and we are starting. Cool. This is 2.5. Okay, everyone. So this is what we're doing this week for the, what is it, 3-ish people who are in the quote-unquote wrong class. Just kind of hang tight, just absorb what we talk about today, but some of it's going to be a little bit ahead of where you are, and that's okay. You'll get to it eventually. But all right, as soon as this goes full screen, you'll be able to see that this, and then I'll unfreeze. Oh, y'all don't see any of that. Okay, and I need to make this go away. I don't need a thumbnail. And my battery's really low too. Cool. Okay. I have to put this over here. Now, who wants to take my charger and plug it in behind the chair? Anyone? Anyone? So I can start teaching? No? All right. Cool, guys. Thank you. I am talking to y'all. I'm not talking to the people in the future who will watch this. All right. So this week we're going to review chapter 11. So today we're going to review chapter 11 at the beginning of class, and then like so on and so forth. Tomorrow we'll review chapter 12, 13 on Wednesday, 14 on Thursday, and 15 apparently, because those kind of go together. And then next week we'll do 16, 17, 18, and 19. So that we'll kind of have caught up on all of those. I'm assuming that you guys have had 2 years of Latin, so the first 10 chapters should be like very much in your mind. But everything after chapter 11 is probably still like a little shaky, right? There's like horrible pronouns to remember and stuff. So yeah. But and then we're going to introduce chapter 20 today. So that'll be the new content that we introduce today, and we're going to kind of balance it with the review we'll be doing. Let me pass out your homework it's due on Thursday. The first assignment, I believe, is it due on here? No, it says. Yeah, it's due on. Oh, it's due on Wednesday. Can you not hear me? All right, so this is, so do the first 5. Want to write, do the first 5 of these. And I actually won't give it to you because you're going to get different content. You're going to use a laptop. Cool. I'm just going to hold it. Awesome. Giving it to people mostly because I'm not going to do it now. Otherwise, I'm probably going to let you look at it at least once. Oh, yeah, sorry. And so y'all's homework is going to be the first point. But also, if you're brand new, I don't think you'll study that. Well, once you watch my video tomorrow, it won't be pretty difficult. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's review chapter 11 vocabulary real quick. So, what does coppet mean, Parker? We get words like, what do we get? We get decapitate from this. A little grisly. What does it mean to decapitate someone? It means to remove the what, Cora? Head. Yes. Okay, head. Sorry for the gory imagery, but I guess that's appropriate for ancient Rome. So coppet means head. What declension is it for? First, second, or third? I know declension is like something that you're going to have to brush up on a little bit. But this is what? Parker, what declension is it? Not second. That would be, I'd have to end in U.S. Luke? That'd have to end in A. Uh-oh. I actually like hearing that you guys are that rusty on declensions. Cora? It is third, yeah. And y'all are getting fourth today, so you do need to know those. But we're gonna review them, I guess. Okay, we're just gonna fly through these. And yeah, for my Latin 3 kids, you can like write if you're like, oh, I just like really didn't know what caput means. Write it in your notes, like put a star by it, maybe. But that's what we're gonna be doing. Like every day this week, I'm just gonna show you the vocab from like an old chapter. So hopefully you can be like, okay, I kind of know most of those words. Or you're like, whoa, I really don't know chapter 11 words. I need to be aware of that. Let me write down the words I like really, really didn't know, and then maybe I'll just like know to go back to it at some point. But yeah, it's just like this is a way of like dealing with. At this point, we have hundreds of words. It's impossible to like keep track of them all, especially after coming off of a long summer. So it's just going to be a process. Console. What does that mean, Luke? Yes. No, it means console. Okay. Wait. What are you thinking of though? You're thinking of concilium. Okay, that's why. Okay. No, this just means console. So this is one of those that's just identical to what it meant. You're thinking of the second declension concilium, concilii. Wow, that threw me off actually. But this is what declension is. This is, huh? Yeah, yeah. So remember, guys, the trick is if you see the IS in the genitive, that means it's third versus, first declension is A and AE. And on the genitive, second is US or AVR and long I. You guys know the first two declensions. Third is the only one you're allowed to sometimes get tripped up on. Nemo or nullius or nemini. This is a weird irregular adjective. It means what? Yeah, good. Very good. Means no one. Hayden, is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
Good. I don't know if there's a pun with Finding Nemo. I guess it was like Finding No One. Is that like the pun? I guess I don't know if that counts as a pun.
It's not a pun. It's like it's really bad because you have like opposite you have to like stages like you always use imagination.
Oh, okay. That's like the weird.
Like going through the dreams of the family.
Weird.
And like the movie is like all the stages of the actually happen. And then like finally letting go.
Does he imagine Dory too?
No, Dory. Dory has. Yeah,
Right.
Dory just like kind of going along with it because she has a.
I heard people didn't like finding Dory. Now I want to watch a 30-minute video.
It literally means finding it.
Yeah, so thank you. All right. Let's see. Keaton, what is ego and meini? It's kind of hard to say what it means because all of them like technically kind of mean something different. But this is a what person pronoun. It's a personal pronoun, and it is the first, second, or third person. Yeah. So it's just like like I, my, to me, and me. Some preposition plus me. So those are first person personal pronouns because that's what you get in chapter 11. You get the personal pronouns. So we'll look at those in a second. And this is what Carly, not first person pronouns, but good. Yeah, second. So it's you, your, to you, you. Good. And this must be what, Chloe? Third. These are the third person pronouns. So it's literally he, she, and it. And those are the worst because like there's three genders and they all have their own cases and numbers. This is a weird irregular adjective. It means the not different, but the Venus? Yeah, this means the same. Good. Amicus means out loud. Anyone? Friend. Everyone in here knows. Well, it's related to Amomare. It means friend. Or it can also be friendly. It can be an adjective. Paris. This means like when you write an old-fashioned letter to someone, you say, Blake so-and-so. Venus? Yeah, this means dear, as in not the animal, but like the adjective. Quote. This is a conjunction quote. Eventually we'll get or y'all maybe already did get the relative pronoun quote. Tammy? Not what. So quid would be what? This is Hayden? Close. So it can actually be whom. But in this context, back when we first got it, it was just what? Yeah, it's because. So it's similar to propter. Okay. Raise your hand if you're like, yeah, I know most of these vocab words. My Latin 3 kids, if you're like, yeah, like I feel pretty good about it. Only Chloe, Phoenix, Hayden, and Tammy. Sort of Luke, sort of Parker, sort of Adrian. Adrian, you've only had 1 year, right? You only yeah, some of these you might. I remember that. I tried to block that out. Nekwe, what does nekwe mean?
This is neither nor or and not, and it's literally and not.
But when neck is showing up, it can be neither nor if there's two of them. Uh-huh.
However,
Yeah, good.
However, this is a conjunction. Good.
Then this is the adverb form of bonus. Ooh. We don't say, so if someone says, oh, you did good on your quiz, you should say, actually, that's not grammatically correct. It's, I did what? Yeah, well.
Well, yeah. And that would be a very pedantic person to make that comment.
Because people are pretty much okay with using good as an adverb, even though it is technically wrong. Etiam, we have another conjunction here. We had, however, with autem, and etiam is another conjunction. Anyone? Maybe not. Parker?
and so.
Kind of. Even or also. So also is close to what you said.
I don't know why they didn't put also. It's also. So now we're at the verbs. There's probably only a few verbs this chapter. Intelligo means that Phoenix kind of to know, but it's a little more like to not just to know something, but to really close. Now I think of disco disco.
Understand?
Yeah, understand. So it's like if something is intelligible to you, that means you really understand it. So it's like kind of know. But that's cogito, and then there's actually other synonyms for cogito that are kind of different. Mito. Y'all always forgot this one last year. Phoenix. Good. This is descent, and we're gonna get a lot of versions of this where it's like add mito or what's the other one, which is like descend to.
Anyway, we add prefixes to this.
Sentio. This is also kind of almost like intelligo. Kind of. We get sententia from it. It's not so much to know something, but to, Amy? So yeah, it's related to the word, well, you're thinking of sapientia. Sententia is like thoughts, but that doesn't really help. Venus? Yeah, to feel or to sense.
And to think is probably just fine too. The book must say to think too, I guess.
Nos nostrum is what person, we already saw this pronoun, but they didn't give us the plurals. This is the plurals of the what person pronoun. Not third. I know you're thinking third. You're thinking of like a lot of people, but it's plural first person. So this is like we, our, to us, by, or with us. So it's us, first person plural. They go with the ego, mei, me.
This is second person plural. I won't dwell on it. They look the same as the nos nostrum,
But they're going to be y'all's, or so y'all's is, or your. I keep thinking like, if you'll play back this video, there's so many parts of the class where like I'm saying something ridiculous. To y'all,
and y'all.
or you all. I'm from the South. It's not my fault.
Neither nor. Oh, they're flipping it on us. No, I want you to give us the Latin.
So if you see two X, the first one can be both, like both this and that.
Okay.
Alias, what does alias mean? Anyone? You get words like alien and alienate from this? Yes?
Yeah, good. It means other. That is the plural of it. And so that's all for chapter 11. It's not too bad. The thing about chapter 11 is mostly that it's introducing those pronouns that have way too many forms.
So here they are right now. I'll make them a little bigger in a second.
But
Yeah, that's what chapter 11 is about. And just to catch you up with like chapters before 11, chapter 1 through 8 and 10 is literally just going through first, second, third, and fourth conjugation verbs, right? Nothing too weird about those. The infinitives are ending a little differently. Third and fourth conjugation of future tense is annoying, right? Remember that future tense that we really don't like, the blue future tense as opposed to the orange. That's what you're learning in chapter 1 through 9, and 8 and 10. And then in chapter, and you get the first two declensions. You get third towards the end, all genders. And then chapter 9 is demonstratives like pick, high, cock, and illid. And then chapter 11, what we're talking about now, is just these pronouns. So this is first person singular, first person plural, second person singular, plural, and then all of the third persons. So they're only bad insofar as there's a lot of them. People are getting pretty good at them last year, I think. What's one way that third person pronouns show up a lot? They actually show up in they're not going to mean them or those, or I'm sorry, it's not going to mean him or her. It's going to be treated as though it is a what. Yeah. For some reason, even though we get hikaitak and illid, these can also be demonstrative, meaning sometimes the context will make it clear that you're just going to translate them as like this or these, as opposed to like a gendered pronoun, right? If they're personal pronouns, they're going to be like gendered. It's going to be like him or her or hers or his. But sometimes they're just going to be like demonstrative, and that actually shows up in your homework. Jackson in the middle of last class was like, what's it going to be? And I was like, oh, and he was asking about Eos. And I was like, oh, Eos means like those men, but it might just mean, or I said them, but the context he was looking at is so anyway, any questions about these comments? We could probably do, yeah, I should go through a Quizlet deck of just these individuals. So like if you see Miki, you should be able to know that it's the dative first person singular pronoun. If you see Tibby, you should know that dative second person, etc. There is rhyme and reason to all of their endings, but it's something you kind of have to figure out on your own. So yeah, they have all the endings have similarities with noun declensions. It's kind of like a weird blend of the first three declensions going on here in terms of the endings. And then the ending IUS shows up a lot in the genitive. It auto-corrected me. Genitive. So yeah, pronouns love this IUS ending. It shows up in a lot of genitives for pronouns, not just the personal pronouns. This is the first time we see it, I think, but then it shows up in reflexive pronouns and in sensitive pronouns, which we'll get to. We will get to them. Oh yeah, and then there's this really weird adjective that just means the same. It's the weirdest adjective because the first syllable is what's changing, not the second syllable or the last syllable. So that's what makes it weird. What you want to do is drop the dim, and that'll show you what person, number, and case it is. Okay, does that ring a bell? No, and then now we're going to talk about fourth declension. So I'm not going to quite, that'd be a little too much to make us go through all of them. There they are, and we have fourth declension now. I think I might have talked about it in like one of the very last videos I watched this morning. Now we are actually starting chapter 20, whereas before I think I just kind of previewed it. So what letter is very important for the fourth declension? No? No? Yeah, even, did you take Bible here? No. Yeah, this brand new student is able to tell that the letter U shows up in the fourth declension. But yeah, so that's the fourth declension. It's similar to the third. Where is it similar to the third declension? Anyone? Looking at the singular and the plural side. Yeah, you're probably looking at maybe over here the dative and the ablative plural. This ibis is the same as third. This genitive plural is kind of similar to the third declension plural. And then yeah, the weird thing is like when we first see a fourth declension noun in the nominative, you're initially going to think it's what declension. That's so cool. Is it because y'all know that? Anyway. No one's actually on the call right now. I might do that in the future, but right now I'm just recording it for the kids who need to watch it tomorrow in class. But yeah, don't hesitate to speak up just because you're recording. It looks like the second declension, right? Maybe. All right. And those are the vocabulary words for chapter 20. So we'll probably have a quiz on this next Friday, not this Friday. This Friday, I want you guys to learn or relearn these vocabulary words. So this is chapter 17, 18, and 19 all collected together. And you're going to have a quiz on that this Friday. Not quite good. We're going to have another one on the first 4 chapters. So yeah, for my Latin, I'm going to call you a Latin 1.5 kids. Hopefully you are here with, what's your name? You're in Caden's group with Caden
Adrian, Sadie, Sarah, Annie, right? Oh, you just already had it. And then, y'all are going to take the quiz on the first four. Yeah, this is 17 through 19. So I'm going to pick 20 of these, and that'll be your first vocab quiz this Friday. And then I'll have to get the other kids here. If you didn't get it already, I'll give it to you on tomorrow for your first four chapters. But yep, there they are. Yep. What is that? That's weird. That's not on my computer screen. Projector's doing something weird. We're getting these artifacts. But yeah, we have a lot of cortical. So cornus is the first one, and then fructus as well. The fourth declension can end in just the long U or US, which I need to add to our chart. So far, I just underlined the second declension. The one you really have to watch for in fourth declension is the long U S ending. So that's showing up in nominative plural, genitive singular, and accusative plural. So it's showing up in 3 places, which is kind of confusing. But you just kind of have to like run a little exercise where you kind of figure out which of the 3 it is. We have words for right or right-handed, which is dexter, dextrum. I left the T out of that. And then sinister, sinistrum is left-handed. And that kind of has to do with like people used to have superstitions about people who are left-handed. And then we get some verbs, nothing weird about those. Mostly we're getting fourth declension nouns, as well as nouns from a few other declensions in addition to that. So again, we have only one neuter fourth declension word this set. And the neuter ones are really weird because, I mean, check it out. That's really weird. The long U is showing up in most of the singular spots. But cornu is the only one that's like that. The only neuter one we're getting right now. And I don't know if we ever get another neuter one. My ninth graders haven't gotten one yet. So mostly they're going to be these symbols right here. What's an English word we get from cornu? Cornu means horn. There's 2 really good ones. Yeah, cornucopia, which is literally the Latin word copia mixed with cornu, like a horn of plenty. That's what it means. And then can you say something different or the same thing? And then you?
I'll have to say cornicus.
What's cornicus?
I don't know. I thought it was the thing that Phoenix said for some reason. I was like, what is the thing? I was like, oh, good.
Yeah, no, sometimes I think of words, I'm like, that's actually a word, but like compliment. And then the magical, mythical creature that we all know and love, the unicorn. It's one horn. Okay. There's like a very small amount of grammar in this chapter, and it's mostly this really easy thing called ablative of place from which. The only thing weird about ablative of place from which is that it can use any of the words we use for from, ab, de, or ex, and then it's just like somebody's coming from a place, and the place will be in the ablative. And I've asked you, what kind of ablative is that? You'd say, it's an ablative of place from which, or where. You can say ablative of place from where. But yeah, that's not a typo. That's an actual kind of ablative, as clunky as it sounds. So let's do some of our very first Latin translations of the year. Who can read this out? And 1.5 kids y'all can read things out loud, and don't feel like you can't participate in the class just because you're kind of waiting on your laptop tomorrow. Oh, almost read it. That's so quiet today, Keaton. Yeah, navigavant, so that's kind of a mouthful. Yeah, good job. Thank you very much. Remember your C's are hard, so Graeci, patria sua ad Italiam navigavant. Okay, what do we think Graeci is doing, Carly? Yeah, it's probably just a subject. We see something that could be nominative plural. Graeci could be like an adjective or a noun. Sometimes it's kind of both. If it's a substantive, adjective. Maybe that's just a subject, as in the what, Carly? I'm sorry? Remember who fought the fights in the Trojan War? The Trojans fighting against the Yeah. So the Greeks, because it's plural, it would be plural if it's nominative. The Greeks, and then we see apatria sua. I wonder if that's the thing that the slide is about. Ad Italiam, another place, a different kind of place, and then our verb. What are the Greeks doing, Lucy? Yeah, well, kind of. So we get navigate from that, but it's probably we're going to translate that more as just what. Yeah, sail. So the Greeks sail apatria sua. Yes. Yeah, very good. And then I don't normally underline ablatives in black, but not just from the fatherland, but from sua has a kind of reflexive, possessive thing. Yeah, their own fatherland. So if you're feeling rusty on sua, and you're like, I definitely don't remember what sua was. That's okay. We'll get to reviewing that at some point this week or next week. But they sailed from their own fatherland. So what case is patria? Yeah, then what kind of ablative is it? Exactly, it's an ablative place from where, which is different than the last two words. So they sailed from their own fatherland, ad Italiam, which was ad Italiam. Yeah, I mean, Parker? To Italy? Yeah, to Italy. So that's a place toward. And that's not ablative, that's what case, Parker? Yeah, because ad takes an accusative. And so that's an accusative of place towards. I love these. I don't know the way they describe these ablatives and accusatives. They always sound so clunky to me. But yeah, that's all it was. And it's sailed. I don't know if you said that this is perfect tense. Sailed. Well, I guess we'll review the perfect tense tomorrow. Yeah, we will. Okay, so that's all it is. Not too bad. And that might be the only new grammar, really, that chapter. Okay. So now we're gonna translate a little bit for the last 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so what did we say etiam means? Yeah. The same note as idim. So it doesn't have it does almost look like one of those, but it doesn't have de at the end, so it's not the same. Didn't Parker somebody say what it was? No. It means although senes, what does senes mean? Tammy? Good. Did you say man or men? Okay, so senex is old man singular. Senes might be what? Yeah, it's going to be third declension plural. So although old men, and now we run into something that is not nominative, fructibus, from this new Latin word for fruit. Sapientiae, et conciliis argumentiis qua certis. Okay, we got something going on here. Saipe careri videntur. I think we need to handle our predicate before we even mess with any of those noun phrases. So what's our predicate? Everybody help me underline both parts of the question. Even thinks he knows what it is. No? What's a verb or verb? Huh. Where? Yeah, it's all of this. It's Saipe careri videntur. Because this is an adverb, so technically it counts. So videntur careri. Oh my gosh, we got a lot going on here. Videntur, what's going on with Videntur? If I ask a certain question about it, it'll kind of give away what's going on with it. You might tell me why. What's up with that ending? I've like never seen it. Yeah, it's passive. Oh, I have seen an ending like that. So chapter 18, passive verbs. So video or videor is kind of specific. It's so what's the active version of it mean? To see. So what's it mean when it's passive? Yeah, to be seen, or also sometimes it's going to be in like this one specifically, not just to be seen is fine, probably work, but it could be. You remember it? Change one letter out at the end of seen. Instead of seen, something. What? Yeah, seems. Yeah, seems. So that's just a weird. Usually passive verb is like you can figure out exactly how to translate it. Videor, the passive of video with dairy is just like a little unique, and then it's more like seen. most of the time. So anyway, it's like although old men seem, and then what do we have? Wittentor has a buddy. What's a buddy? It's a word y'all maybe don't remember. That's okay. Also, keep in mind, they probably can't hear you on the recording. Sometimes they can't even hear me. I did a test. It can definitely, the mic picks my voice up fine if I'm standing here, but I actually don't know about, like, if my mask is fully on. What is Wittentor's buddy? Underline. Ferrari, right? It's a complimentary, anyone out loud? Infinitive, yeah. Yeah. Definitely need to sometimes say things out loud. It's good. So although old men seem, you might remember what Ferrari means? To, with an L, not to have something, but to be close, but so it's to lack. So they seem to often lack, and now this is another thing we might have to review. Maybe it came up on Friday. Well, what would you expect them to lack? Like in terms of grammar, you'd expect them to probably lack a out loud. Anyone? What kind of object? Yeah, you would assume them to but weirdly, we have this verb, we have libero, and we have, what's another one? There's one other one that instead of like direct objects, they take something called an ablative of, anyone remember it? Ablative of separation. Kind of weird. It's like the ablative of separation, so acts like a direct object, but it's ablative instead of accusative. And it's like technically this specific kind of ablative. It's kind of weird. So they often seem to lack what could be the ablative of separation. Again, I want to apologize to people like this is all, you're going to be looking at stuff that's like introductory to Latin. So don't worry. We're not going to just throw people into like a third-year Latin class. Well, we kind of are this year, but we're going to fix it with computers and technology. It's great. Yes. Yeah, exactly. So this is the first one we see. This is an ablative. So fruits, and then Phoenix is already picking up on the fact that sapientiae is what case. Addie, can you see from there what case sapientiae must be if you translate it as fruits of wisdom? Yeah. Would you say dative or genitive? Oh, so it's actually be genitive, okay? Because Phoenix is kind of taking it to be possessive, like fruits of wisdom, or the descriptive genitive rather. Fruits of wisdom and conciliis. That's what Luke was thinking of when you translated consul. So this. So what is it, Luke? Yeah, and plans and que and argumentis. That's just, huh? Yeah, arguments. Or certain arguments. Yeah. So he's saying that, he's like, oh, you would think old men would have fruits of wisdom and plans and arguments to make, certain arguments, but sometimes they seem to lack them, which is surprising, I guess. Okay. Oh, yeah, I have all of this. Okay. But I don't know if I prefer to mark it up or just do what I was doing in the quarantine videos. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I wonder if that's just my projector. See that? That's not on the computer screen. Weird. It's kind of like a glitch or something. I'll have to see if it shows up on. I assume it won't show up on the recording. All right, let's do one more. But does anybody want to tell me a story about something you did over the weekend? Elizabeth? What you didn't do what? Because were you like nervous to eat anything? Or?
I was in the middle of eating and people were like, hey, let's go look at these houses and we'll go eat. Well, it turns out the food for them was at the house was closed, so we did chili and.
Did they seat you in Chili's? You were sitting inside?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do the waiters have masks on?
Yeah, everybody.
Interesting. Okay. Huh. I've only been like maybe all of 3 restaurants since quarantine started. 2 of which were in Louisiana. Okay.
Trespass. Okay. Yeah.
So we were there, and my friend, he saw us with his friends, and she was, oh my God, we need to go to the
Huh.
because like she see me that, and I pulled down the stairs, and I'm so busy, I don't know if I fell over because I'm super busy, and I tried to get back up, and I fell over, and I'm so busy, and I must have found this top, and like, really, someone really accident so busy, and then she realized, oh, it was just 15 minutes around, and then, so we just got to like go back to like the top, and then there was a guy who was flying, just like kicking around, and then he's like, you know what, the person, and then my father goes, oh my gosh, it's the person, and then they screamed, and they ran, it was really funny, it was a really
You probably scared that poor jogger.
yeah, and then my friend thinks that it was the guy who's running the park was something that they were going to talk about it, but
Maybe they did. Maybe they were like, oh, there was this girl who was stumbling all over the place because she was really dizzy, and her friend was.
my friend had to throw up because she got broken color and she had ice cream and she couldn't throw up and she was so busy, so she had to throw up. And so we were at the right road and this car was driving by and my friend Emily, she was like, it's not good. I don't know, and then she said, and it was so bad because it was like we needed their help. And she's like, oh no, we don't need that. And she's like, and then the car just kind of like slowly by.
Was this all the same night? Wow, y'all had so many like weird interactions with random people.
Oh my God, Emily, you said the class that. That's literally what they mean.
Let's go ahead and not use that word. Okay, so let's see. We got like 3 minutes. Let's just talk about the syllabus real quick and make sure everyone understands what's going on this week. So for my Latin 1.5 kids, and when I say that, I actually mean you, and I mean Sadie and everyone else. I'm totally learning y'all's names. You might be confused, but just hang tight. Tomorrow we're going to try to hook you up. You're going to be using a laptop. So let's see, that's one kid that's don't like stand up or anything, but y'all can like quietly put stuff away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I only need 5 laptops. Okay. Because in the last class, it's 5 kids who are in the wrong class in a different way.
Are we going to be getting dictionaries?
Yeah, as soon as I pass out all the textbooks, then I'll pass out the dictionaries. I'm trying to wait till then. So yeah, please, guys, remember the $23. He is the only one who's allowed to maybe not even have it tomorrow. Name one more time. Caden. Okay. I'm actually going to keep this going. Caden's allowed to get it at the end of the week, honestly. He's probably got a lot going on in terms of sorting everything out. But, okay, there's only a couple things. We already talked about materials. And, like, you guys know what I expect. Just, like, have a dedicated notebook or binder. But then these resources, that's more for the 1.5 kids. I'm trying not to print out the syllabus. We're going to, like, replace Schoology with something else that probably, like, is a database for linking you to all the Google Forms. So that, like, even you guys, I want you to use that even if you're not home. And so you'll be able to access eventually when you get to that point where we are sharing all of that. But yeah, remember Wiktionary.com is a really good online dictionary, and Quizlet is a great way to prepare for your very first vocabulary quiz, which will be on Friday. Yes, Sarah? Yeah, so those are the right ones for you. Just the first 5. And they're not due till Thursday. And if you don't feel ready to do it yet, you're right, because I'm going to teach some of that material on Wednesday. So you might need to wait till like Wednesday night, kind of.
What about the rates? I have like go back.
Right. So yeah. So you're going to be getting content from an introductory class. So once you watch my video tomorrow, maybe we'll catch you up a little bit more than that, just that. Yeah. But I'll be like lenient for you. Might not quite have it on Thursday, but maybe Friday or Monday. Anyway, there's that. And then this is kind of important because it didn't come up anywhere else. But tests are 35% this year. That's less than usual. Quizzes are 30. That's a little more than it has been in the past.
homework 20, and participation 15. Participation will mostly be like that'll only come up if I'm deducting points if you're like really disruptive or something. But mostly it's going to be, I am going to eventually hand out refresher sheets, the vocab refresher sheets we started to do last year. I'm holding it off on giving those out because, you know, like you need to just review for a couple weeks before you start like keeping track of the words you don't know, if that makes sense. So I'll pick those up every week or two, and that's how you'll get your participation. Pace is still the same.
And yeah. All right. Any other weekend stories?